Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. Today we'll be working on this 1947 GM pickup. We're going to be installing our DWP 111047 GM, which is the glue-on door seal that goes directly onto the door. Please check our website for complete make, model, year information. Tools you'll need are Greg and I went ahead and took the door off the cab. We did this to better illustrate on how to put the seal onto the door. Now you can do it with the door on the cab, or you can take it off like we did. It's up to you. Greg, what's the next step?
We will start our installation of the Weatherstrip on the bottom of the door in the middle. The profile of this seal gives us a somewhat of a 90-degree corner. We will be applying our adhesive to this Weatherstrip on these two surfaces, along with the two appropriate surfaces on the door.
Greg, what's the best way to apply the adhesive?
We will be using an acid brush to evenly distribute that on the Weatherstrip. We'll be using a Weatherstrip adhesive, black in color. All right, starting at the middle of the door on the bottom, we're going to work in small, manageable sections. We're going to let this adhesive tack up a little bit per the manufacturer recommendations.
And you can see we pre-applied painter's tape to the door, and we're going to use that to hold the Weatherstrip in place while the glue dries.
And now installing it, the correct orientation.
We're going to continue on around the corner here. And what I'm doing here is actually putting tension on the Weatherstrip. I'm pulling it, and this gives a much more stable surface for Greg to apply the adhesive to.
Now, in applying the seal to the corners, you want to make sure that it does not twist and change that orientation. Okay.
As we continue to work along in small, manageable sections, you'll notice that this is the front side of the door where the hinges are. And this is one of the reasons that we took it off the vehicle, is this makes this section much easier to access and work on with it off the vehicle. One thing to note, even though I'm pulling on the Weatherstrip for tension for when Greg is applying the adhesive, once we put it back down, we're releasing it and it is not under tension. Now we'll continue to work our way around the door. So we're on to the next little tricky spot here, which is the little bump in the back side of the door. So again, we're keeping small manageable sections here. Sorry. And again, as we apply it along this little out bump on the door, you gotta make sure you do not twist the profile as you do this. And we'll continue on. We're going to go ahead and finish up on the bottom section of the door here. You'll notice that the door seal is way too long. That is by design. Greg, how do we handle this?
What we're going to do is we're going to dry fit this. We're going to go about 1 inch past.
Now you want to make sure you use a very sharp razor blade when you're cutting this foam and try to get a very 90-degree cut to it.
Go ahead and test fit it. Still seems to be a little long. Better have more than not enough.
That looks good.
We'll go ahead and finish the installation. I'm applying a little bit of the adhesive to the end of the seal also. I'll start by putting the two ends together. Make sure they're somewhat flush and matched up. And we'll just work our way back.
Now we're going to let the adhesive set up and cure per the manufacturer's recommendations, and we're going to go ahead and reinstall the door. We let the adhesive cure, we took off the tape, we reinstalled the door on the cab, now we can close it.
When we first went to close the door, it did close very hard. It was a dry seal on a dry surface. So we took foaming glass cleaner around the perimeter of the seal and closed it again. We let it set for a couple days. Now it closes in the action you just saw.
We have a whole video that addresses any issues that you might come upon with a newly installed door seal. It's on our YouTube channel. Check it out.